and welcome back to my channel, Book Bestie. If I'm a new face to you, my name is Lauren, and today I'm going over all of the books that I read in October. I am trying really hard not to be disappointed in myself. I think it was the reading vlog I did. Before we get into it, if you enjoy watching bookish content here on YouTube, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you never miss any of the videos that I post. I post a new video for you to enjoy each and every Tuesday. And yes, let's do some housekeeping. I changed it from Fridays to Tuesdays. Sue me. Don't actually sue me. It just, the flow was not flowing anymore. It used to, but now it didn't. I changed the day that I post videos. You're still getting a video once a week for you to enjoy. It's just now on Tuesdays. How do you like that? Why am I disappointed in myself? In the month of October, I only read 6 books. I also haven't really had time to keep up with my reading blanket. I have scheduled some time in my calendar. I don't know when, but I'm gonna schedule some time and I'm gonna like sit down and binge a couple movies this month and bang out those granny squares and like finish updating my blanket because like I love it so much. I just need to finish updating it because one way or the other, I'm getting to 120 books read this year. I'm just not freaking there yet and it's making me really mad. Yeah, I only read 6 books in October. My book projection says I'm 79% of the way through the goal. I'm so close. In total pages that I read like 1,700 pages. The 3 thriller books that I featured in my latest reading vlog, they were hefty books. I don't know, it's just a busy season and I have to be okay with it being a busier season in my life at the moment. That means for throughout the year, October has only made up 7% of the pages that I've read. I'll include a nice little chart, but that also means October is the lowest page percentage month of the year so far. This could always change. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's keep October at the lowest and just let's freaking do something in November and December, man. Wow. Let's just get into the book. The first book that I read in October was You Belong Here by Megan Miranda. How do I feel about this book? It was okay. Like I listened to it on Spotify. It was interesting up until the very end and then the reveal happened. You know, here's the whole plot and here's actually what happened. I usually like Megan Miranda books. This one, I don't think, okay, this is controversial. I don't think this book deserved the hype that it got, and I think it got the hype that it did because the publisher was pushing so hard for it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but like it was okay. It was interesting. The dynamic was very interesting. The story and the plot, but then the ultimate reveal, and I was just kind of, it was lackluster. It was stupid. That's my opinion on it, and I would say honestly, don't waste your time on this book unless you are on a big Megan Miranda kick. Then maybe read it. For me, it wasn't worth the time. Book number 2 was Murder at the Polo Club by C.J. Archer. This is the continuing of the Cleopatra Fox mystery series. I love C.J. Arthur. I love the Cleopatra Fox mystery series. Absolutely lovely. There is a murder at a polo club and Cleo happens to be there when the murder happens. She and Harry get like all roped in and have to find the killer. Who was the killer again? I can't remember, but I do remember like in the plot, it was very like, it made perfect sense. It was one of the most enjoyable books of the Cleopatra Fox mystery series. Also, I love how in this series, like automobiles are just becoming a thing and they're like, wow, we're zooming there at 20 miles an hour. It's very cute. It's a very good mystery series. Absolutely love it. Love like all of the hijinks that they get up to and just oh and then there's like the romance that's like going through the whole series and you kind of get to see all of it with one of the, she's like an American heiress and she's looking to marry this English guy who's like not a lord but like they're in love and you just kind of get to watch the whole romance. And then there's Cleo and Harry's romance that's like there, but not there. We want to talk about it, but we don't because we need to focus on solving the mystery. It's a lovely series and you guys need to go read it if you haven't yet. The first book I read of October was Don't Let 'Em In by Lisa Jewell. Scratch that. This was book number 3. I love Lisa Jewell books. I think there's been only one that I really did not like, and that was Something About a Husband, and he was a jerk and I just did not like him. Don't Let Him In. This guy, okay, if you guys have seen the Netflix show, docuseries, documentary, whatever you call it, The Tinder Swindler, that's what this guy feels like. And I caught on to that like maybe 35% into the book and I was like, okay. Because then the Tinder swindler lady who was swindled, she also just made a new show where she's investigating guys that do this crap. So go watch those if you like that type of thing. And if you like that type of thing, read Don't Let Him In. It was really good. I listened to it on Spotify. This guy is just a string of pathetic. He's pathetic, okay? And it's really, there's some chapters where he is narrating and he's like, poor pitiful me, I have to do this. And you're just like rolling your eyes. And it is such a testament to Lisa Jewell's writing style that you don't stop reading the book during his chapters. And like you are so hooked by his like grossness. You know what I mean? So good, guys. The fourth book of October was The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve Dew, and I read this one in my haunted house horror book reading vlog. This was the first book I did, so I'm gonna link that up above. Make sure you go watch that because it was a really fun vlog. It was really fun to put together and to read the books of, and I think it went over like 3 weeks of my life. This is a horror book, but is it, or is it a historical fiction book? But how much fiction is there? It's a really great book. It is set in northern Florida, I believe, and it is during Jim Crow laws. Yep. Robert gets sent to a reformatory school that is like bad after he kicks a boy who is making advances on his sister as they were walking to school one day. That is why he is sent to this horrible place. The warden is a monster. And then his sister, Gloria, I think his sister's name is Gloria. We love her and we love her community. We love her village that is around her and just like also helping push the needle and like get Robert out of this. There's a lot of interesting like historical stuff about the NAACP and the lawyers at the time. Just very interesting things in this book as a whole. The author's note at the end, Tanana Reeve Dew, also says this was like based off of a real story, a real relative of hers, Robert. He got sent to one of these places. Always make sure you read the author's note at the end of books. They provide so much more information on like why the author wrote this story or why this story was close to their heart, and I always find that interesting. The only made up thing in this story is like the ghost, but like the ghosts are not the scariest part of this. And there's the land makes people bad. I'm just going to tell you, the things that happen in this book are not due to the land making them bad. The people in this book were bad before they got on the land, and it's a nice, easy little cop-out for them that they don't even realize. No, I read 7 books during the month of October. I just couldn't count. Now we are on to book number 5, and it is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I saw this book all over the place last year, so when I was making this haunted house, or honestly before it became a haunted house horror book vlog, it was just going to be a horror book vlog, but all the books became haunted houses. This was definitely on my list. I didn't get to it last year. I had a lot of stuff going on in October last year, so it made the cut this year. It was really interesting because there were moments where I could not tell if it was meant to be satirical, but like I was laughing and I was like, is this for real? And honestly, it felt like I was reading watching a horror movie in my mind. That is what it felt like. And even just like moments in it. I kind of wonder, and I haven't done any research on who Grady Hendrix is as an author, but I kind of wonder if, I think it's a guy, if he has a background in screenwriting, because that is what this book read like, and not in any type of bad way. It was really interesting. I don't know, but it was very scary. If you don't like puppets, do not read this book. The house isn't necessarily haunted, but it's haunted by puppets. And I could tell that from the time she walked into the house to sell her parents' house after they were in a tragic car accident. The little dolls and the little puppets kept moving. Oh. Also, there's reconciliation between her and her brother, which is, if there's anything that is going to bring a family together or push them further apart, it is selling a late parent's estate. And you could not tell what was going to happen in this book the entire time. It is absolutely, like, weirdly funny and heartwarming and scary. And I think from the time I was like at 65%, I just read the rest of the book in one night, legitimately. Like, I stayed up until 11:30 on a work night to finish this book because I could not put it down. Book number 6 was Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. This was the 3rd book in the Haunted House reading vlog. This one had been on my shelf for a year as well, okay? Like, it was. I want to say this one was just okay as well. I think it was hyped up more, and like, it wasn't even hyped up, but like, it was hyped up and it was okay. It was weirdly heartwarming. Very weirdly heartwarming. I don't know. Her dad's a serial killer and her mom is dying, and her mom has called her home after being estranged from her for like 12 years to have her come home and help her die. There's this like artist guy who's like being a mooch, and her mom has turned their house into this like way to make money of like, come look at one of the worst serial killers who ever lived at his house. The narrator, I never got the vibe that she was unreliable and you couldn't trust her, but like, I think that was accidentally the vibe that was given off, because all of her accounts were very true. But while I was reading the book, I was like, girl, something seems off about you. And there is something off about her, and it's revealed at the end of the book, and you're just like, ew. I guess the true horror part of it is like during the reveal of like what's actually going on. I love that moment, by the way. I love that moment where we see everything come together. Then you like look back on what you just read and you're like, no. That's kind of what this book was. And book number 7, I apparently could not coordinate both of my hands at the same time, was The Fix by Mia Sheridan. And I finished this one last night. I'm filming this on November 1st. This is a romantic suspense book, and I think it's only the 2nd romantic suspense book that I've read, and I had a feeling I was gonna like them. I do like them. This is the 2nd one I've ever read. Lovely book. Okay, I got this one from the Prime First Read. So like, if you have a Prime account, you can get 1 to 2 free books a month for just having a Prime membership. This was one of them that I picked in October. I think you could get 2 in October. It was a romance, for sure. It was a suspense, for sure, / thriller. There was only one scene where I had to like flip to the end of the chapter, and it was good. Like, it wasn't too spicy. It was more about longing. It was more about the connection. It was more about that friendship that comes before you're like, oh my gosh, I'm falling in love. It's that. I guess another quick warning about this book. You need to be prepared for the first 20 to 25% of this book to be dark. You just gotta strap in. If you can handle it, handle it. If you can't, this book might not be for you, because we get to see the crime that kind of has kicked off this whole freaking thing, okay? But when Cammy is in high school, intruders break into her house, tie up, and like, well, what? They hold her family hostage, murder her mother and her sister. Then she finds a way to escape, get help, all of that, great. But she's just found out she's pregnant with her high school boyfriend's baby at the same time when this is going down. Her dad also survives. Thank goodness. She's like in shock after this, but there's a sweet guy in her high school class, and she talked to him like right before all this happened. And when they're like, the police are like, hey, he's got similar initials to one of the guys who assaulted you. She's like, IDK, it maybe could be him. Now, he was from a very low economic class where Cammie, her family was pretty affluent. So all of his scholarships and all of his opportunities, because she was just like, maybe it could have been him, then the press and the police, everything, they started speculating, and all of his opportunities that he had worked so hard for went down the toilet. But now it's like, what, 11 years later, she gave her baby up for adoption, and he is in the army. He works for the NSA or something. I don't know. He's doing something very techy, very cool. He's a very smart guy. He's a very good guy. They reconnect through the weirdest of circumstances. Cammie got sent a video of her son, who was adopted and was a closed adoption, and he is kidnapped. She has 4 days to find him. Yeah. And she goes to the only person she knows who is smart with cyber security stuff, and that is her guy. They fall in love. They, you know, it's just, I love this book so much. It was, I don't know, it scratched, like romantic suspense just scratches an itch in my brain for some reason. I don't know why, it just does. Alrighty, so I'm glad I figured out that I actually read 7 books in the month of October, not just 6. What was your favorite book that you read in the month of October? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you've added any of these 7 books to your TBR. If you enjoyed watching this October reading wrap up, make sure you like this video and hit subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss out on any of the videos that I post. Also, go check out my haunted house reading vlog. It was really cool. And with that, book besties, I will see you in the next one. Happy reading. Bye!